The WNBA is set to lose $40 million this season.
Remember the WNBA's golden age, when Caitlin Clark's star power packed arenas, ratings skyrocketed, and merchandise flew off the shelves? Now that the league is facing a $40 million loss, how did things fall apart so fast? Prepare for the WNBA's wild ride. In a flash, from success to financial ruin.
Next season is canceled. It will be the end of the WNBA in the mainstream. People will not give this league another chance.
A $40 million loss is terrible, but what if that's only the beginning? It turns out that a group of heavy hitters have been fuming in silence for years and are finally prepared to come forward.
NBA investors are actually starting to get irritated. It's about time.
And their tolerance is wearing dangerously thin. When the NBA owners begin to inquire, you know that things are very serious.
The owners, if the NBA wanted to close this, nobody would blame them. Nobody would blame them if they wanted to shut this league down. I mean, what other league operates for 27 years in a loss? What other business does? It doesn't. It gets closed down. It gets shut down.
These aren't just any questions. They're the kind that make league commissioners sweat. For 27 years, these men have been funding the WNBA while witnessing loss after loss mount, but they've had enough. In fact, the NBA is reportedly thinking about disbanding the league because these owners want transparency and are fed up with writing checks without seeing results. Can you blame them? Imagine investing millions of dollars in a company for nearly 30 years only to watch it continue to lose money.
And of all owners to actually be sort of a hero on this, it is James Dolan. One of them, of course, from the Knicks, that is asking a lot of questions right now, and evidently a lot of other owners are sort of happy that he's taking this bullet.
And who is spearheading this effort? Yes, the owner of the New York Knicks, James Dolan, who is frequently the target of fan criticism, is now requesting answers from NBA Commissioner Adam Silver regarding a plot twist. This is where things get really crazy, though, as other owners are praising Dolan for speaking up. When was the last time someone referred to James Dolan as a hero? I'll wait. It seems like we've entered a parallel reality in which Dylan is the good guy, but hey, weirder things have happened in the sports world, don't they?
The NBA owns nearly 60% of the league. Now listen to this. When one combines the NBA owners' personal stakes in WNBA teams and the WNBA itself, the amount rises to 75% of the league ownership is tied to the WNBA, to the NBA for the league.
Now, you may be asking yourself, well, but how much really is the NBA involved in all of this? Well, hold on to your seats because the real deal is that the NBA owns 75% of the WNBA. That's not a typo. So when the WNBA loses, the NBA loses badly. Millions of dollars are going out of NBA coffers annually.
The NBA team owners have invested hundreds of millions into the WNBA since 1996, per sources. Quote, the WNBA owes the NBA so much we won't see any windfall for years, a team executive told the Post. So it's going to be years, even with this broadcast, this new media rights deal, before anybody sees any money.
The WNBA isn't just a business. It's a symbol of progress in sports. So why are these NBA owners suddenly so upset about the WNBA's finances? It's simple. They're seeing their investment go up in smoke. One anonymous team executive put it bluntly. The WNBA owes the NBA so much. That's not just frustration talking. Well, it's not that simple. Shutting it down would be a PR nightmare, and there's still hope that things could turn around. Okay, so the WNBA is still standing, but for how long? The league's future is hanging by a thread, and you won't believe what's about to unravel it all.
Before anybody sees any money. Starting in the 2026 season, the WNBA will get up to a $2.2 billion over 11 years media right contract.
The potential value of the WNBA's next media rights deal is $2.2 billion, which is more than 36 times the value of their present arrangement. This isn't just a bump in the road. It's a total game shift for the league.
That means likely at least $100 million annual increase from what the WNBA currently makes from national media contracts, which is about $60 million. The WNBA is also set to expand its regular season and playoff schedule to generate more revenue.
However, this is where things start to get very interesting. Caitlin Clark is riding high on this huge deal, and the networks are seeing the ratings because of the buzz she's creating. After 27 years of losing money, the WNBA could finally generate a profit when she performs, and they're prepared to part with their cash. We're talking about going from $60 million annually in media rights to at least $100 million, but there's still more difficulties. The WNBA players' demand for increased pay might lead the league's finances to collapse if they decide to leave their existing collective bargaining agreement by November 1st. This could make the current losses into an even more severe financial catastrophe.
But the players are expected to opt out of the CBA by November 1 deadline, and if they do, that means the salaries are likely to rise, which would eat into the potential $60 million for the 2026 profit by the league. The $100 million in television revenue, turning the projected $40 million loss into a $60 million gain. Quote, we have not even getting any money from the WNBA expansion fees.
The WNBA is currently in a difficult situation as players are demanding more money and opposing change. Investors are fed up with investing in what appears to be a losing venture, and Caitlin Clark, the rookie phenom, sits in the midst and has the potential to salvage everything if the league let her.
For this league, again, what do you do? I mean, this league is going to make some money now, all right? But again, what happens if you push all these new fans back out? What does that do for your media rights deals? Because they only got the new media rights deals because of one player. I mean, singular, let's be honest. It's Caitlin Clark.
But hold on, keep in mind all those new admirers. Caitlin Clark attracted those who were suddenly interested in women's basketball, but some WNBA players haven't exactly welcomed them. In fact, they've been shoving these new fans away. Can you believe it? It seems like they're actively working to reduce their fan base. Other WNBA players and officials have publicly chastised Clark and her fans, implying that the league's current culture is being upset by the influx of new supporters.
She boosted all the ratings, she got the popularity, and now all your players across the league are attacking her fans, the Iowa fans, the Indiana Fever fans. Look at those Connecticut Sun players talking about Indiana Fever fans are racist. Angel Reese talking about Indiana Fever fans are racist. Caitlin Clark fans are racist. People are going to get tired of that, and they're going to be like, the hell with it. Let's let this league burn itself to the ground where it should have been a long time ago.
But it gets worse. Accusations are circulating that are difficult to deny, and some players, like Angel Reese, have even gone so far as to call Caitlin Clark supporters racist. Can you believe that the very thing that could keep the WNBA afloat is being viewed as a threat by some insiders?
Every single year, and it looks like the league might eventually become profitable. That is, if the WNBA players, the hatefulness, the jealousy, the pettiness, doesn't run off fans, okay? Because we know the way they treated Caitlin Clark, and we know the way a lot of these players have talked so badly about the new fans that have come in. Well, the new fans are what's going to make you money. So if you continue to talk badly about them, they're going to get fed up, and they're going to not watch this league. They're going to leave the league, and you're back to where you were, and it sounds like owners, you better not go back to where you were.
The WNBA is at a crossroads, and time is running out. Caitlin Clark is a megastar who is attracting thousands of fans with her amazing talent and charisma. Clark is the type of player who might take the league to new heights, drawing more attention, revenue, and viewers. The WNBA has a fantastic chance to capitalize on her star power and expand her fan base.
And you've got the factor of Caitlin Clark's getting the ever-loving hell beat out of her out there. So what happens if she gets hurt, severely hurt, knocked out of the league? Again, we were one eye poke away from a career being potentially a wrap right after it started.
But rather than standing with Clark wholeheartedly, some league members appear to be retaliating. In fact, there has been a discernible pattern of bullying directed at her, which is driving away supporters.
Frankly, Caitlin Clark fans are getting pissed over it. They're getting tired of it. You know? And again, all these new fans, a lot of them, like us, in this house that are actual families, a nuclear family, a traditional family unit, we don't want to see her get the crap beat out of her on the court. That's not a good look for our kids to be watching. We don't want to see that.
Thanks to one player, Caitlin Clark, the WNBA is no longer a minor blip on the sports radar. She didn't simply show up. She stormed onto the scene like a basketball supernova.
The WNBA has seen record-breaking numbers this season in viewership, ticket sales, merch sales, and just overall growth of the league.
All of a sudden, women's basketball was the talk of the town, and the WNBA at last got the attention it had long craved.
Another chart that says the yearly league attendance by team. So if we look at this chart for the 2024 season, the Indiana Fever are pretty much blowing out every other team. They are averaging almost 16,000 per 39 games. So this is taking into consideration not only the Indiana Fever home games, but also when they are on the road. Their lowest attendance was around 6,000 people. And if you look at the rest of the league, everybody else is around 3,000 for their lowest. Their highest attendance is 2,366.
Let's discuss what Clark did to make things better. We're not merely discussing a slight increase in interest here. Rather, we're discussing a complete revolution. Once empty arenas were suddenly crowded to capacity, and TV ratings weren't just good. They were smashing records everywhere in merchandise. If you attempted to get your hands on a Caitlin Clark jersey, they would sell out quicker than hotcakes at a county fair.
These numbers are crazy. Do you know what kind of money these numbers are going to turn into? Like, this is how you grow the league. This attendance is crazy.
However, this is where things get very juicy. In addition to being well-liked, the WNBA was making a ton of money for a league that had been having trouble making ends meet. It was like oil in your backyard. You might be asking yourself, well, but how much of a difference could one player really make? More than you'd ever believe.
WNBA. Cheap seats going for $100, that is a sign of progress. The most expensive seats to see Caitlin Clark were selling for over $4,000. When she played Angel Reese in the regular season, average ticket was selling for $300.
Overnight, we noticed that ticket prices had tripled. That is to say, 3 seats that had previously cost $20 were now selling for $60, $70, or even $100, and customers were willing to pay that amount. TV ratings skyrocketed. We're talking about games drawing millions of viewers, including those who had never seen a women's basketball game before, who were tuning in to see what all the excitement was about.
It's what she does. Now, as a player, let's understand this about Caitlin Clark. #1 overall pick, on pace to become the first rookie ever to average at least 15 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. But she also leads the league with 5.4 turnovers per game, 1.3 more than any other player in the league.
And it went beyond the numbers. Clark added a whole new level of energy to the game by making plays that had everyone's jaws on the floor. She also made clutch plays in the closing seconds, long-range three-pointers, and behind-the-back passes. Her style and flair had both critics and fans praising her.
The Fever will have over 600,000 fans in attendance total this year, and the second best to that was in 1999 with the Washington Mystics at just over 400,000. So the Fever are going to account for over 200,000 more fans this year to their game.
So how did Caitlin Clark single-handedly increase the WNBA's popularity? It wasn't just her on-court prowess, though that was undeniable. It was the way she captured people's attention and made women's basketball thrilling, unpredictable, and a must-watch TV show. She attracted new fans, rekindled old ones, and made the WNBA a hot topic of conversation at water coolers and on social media. The WNBA has a choice: ride this wave of excitement or risk fading into obscurity. What should they do, in your opinion?